Please remain standing as the Commodore Singers perform our national anthem. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this very joyous occasion to see these students off on their next great adventure. I'm Stephanie Taylor, principal of Vergennes Union High School. And before we get started, I wanted to take a moment to admire how beautiful the gym looks tonight and to recognize the hard work of a group of parents that worked to make this a memorable occasion. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge another group of very special people. The following faculty members are retiring this year: Leo Rock, Mark Powers, Kathleen Scacciaferro, and Lee Shorey. Let's give them a round of applause, too. It's my privilege to introduce Sheila Soul, Superintendent of Schools, to welcome you to the commencement ceremony of the class of 2019.
I think so. Good evening. Ooh, a bell. All right. Good evening and welcome to our school board members, administrators, faculty and staff, community members, families, friends, and most importantly, our graduating class of 2019. You made it. It is my absolute honor to welcome you this evening in this, my first year as your superintendent of schools. It's hard to believe this school year has come to a close. Graduates, this night is remarkable for many reasons. This important event clearly distinguishes your childhood from all that is to come as you prepare to move on to life beyond Vergennes Union High School. You have progressed so far, and now you are ready for new opportunities as you welcome the challenges that await you. This night is also remarkable because you are surrounded by a community that loves and supports you. They have many wonderful memories of you all these years on your journey. Many of you have lived here your whole lives, and these teachers and neighbors and friends may remember the day you were born. They may still be able to picture you in a long-forgotten Halloween costume. Maybe they were there at that Little League game the day you made your first hit or swam in your first race. They watched you march in parades. They sat in the audience as you took the stage, and they marveled at your growing academic strengths and interests. In that way, this is an important night for everyone. When I was asked to share a few remarks with you this evening, I was a bit stumped what I might say because I have not shared this journey with you for very long. I reflected on all that has changed in your lifetime as I tried to imagine what the future would be like for you. So much has changed. In fact, in the year you were born, the first iPod was introduced and the first Xbox. Many people still carried beepers, not cell phones. Beepers, Google it. There were no smartphones. We just had dumb phones, and chances are they were plugged into our wall at home, not in our pocket. And if you had the internet in 2001, you accessed it through a phone landline, and it was so slow. There was no Snapchat, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Fortnite, no YouTube, no FaceTime or Skype. None of these things existed, and yet today they are as much a part of our lives as food and water. Back then, no one was trying to keep up with the Kardashians because no one had even heard of them. Reality TV was found on the evening news. Both Big Papi and Tom Brady were beginning their professional careers. In fact, we were still waiting for the Red Sox to end the curse and win a World Series, as it had been since 1918 that they had done so. And the Patriots had never won a Super Bowl. Jobs like app developer, social media marketer, social media influencer, data scientist, search engine analyst, podcast producer did not exist. So if the world has changed that much in that amount of time, what will it be like in the next 10 or 20 years? It's hard to imagine, except that it will soon be in your hands to decide. Have we taught you everything you needed to know to succeed in this ever-changing world? I think so. In fact, like a familiar poem by Robert Fulghum reminds us, all you really needed to know, you learned in kindergarten. In kindergarten, you learn things like share everything. This can mean quite literally to share the things you have, but I also think it means to share your gifts, your talents, and your unique flair. The world needs you. Play fair. It is human nature to want to win, but an unearned victory is ultimately unfulfilling. Arguably, real growth is experienced through loss or failure. Put things back where you found them and clean up your own mess. Take responsibility for things that are yours to own. Assuming responsibility is the hallmark of the fully integrated, fully functioning human being. Unlike blame, responsibility goes hand in hand with success, achievement, motivation, happiness, and self-fulfillment. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Sometimes saying you're sorry is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Carrying around anger and resentment is a heavy load. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you, especially cookies baked by Corey Coffee. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Never underestimate the value of a true friend. And finally, be aware of wonder. Remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup? The roots grow down and the plant grows up, and nobody really knows how or why, but we're all like that. Your roots are here in this community, and you get to decide next which way your branches will grow. Before I turn the spotlight over to our salutatorian, Madeline Smith, I want to thank everyone for supporting our graduates on their journey. To our teachers, community members, family, and friends, thank you for your support. Graduates, I wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Who knew this day would come? Remember sitting in math class, struggling through a seemingly impossible midterm, thinking, can I please just graduate already? Well, here we are, graduating already. As slow as it can seem in a moment, time passes faster than a rocket eager to get to Mars. Look at us fly. My name is Madeline Smith, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all, mothers, fathers, siblings, grandparents, loved ones, teachers, school board, administration, and friends, to the class of 2019 Vergennes Union High School graduation ceremony. Thank you all for being here. Firstly, I would like to give an enormous congratulations to my peers, who are all sitting up here looking dashing in their caps and gowns. You did it. It was not easy, but you did it. You persevered through the frustration, disappointment, and stress, and I am proud of you all. Secondly, I would like to thank all the people who have undoubtedly supported the wonderful people sitting up here. You have helped us succeed more than you could ever know. This senior class of individuals, all with drastically diverse interests, thoughts, and lives, have come together and have made a huge impact on this school and the surrounding community. To name a few examples, our senior walkathon, with the leadership of our beloved classmate Michael Alexopoulos, we decided to walk for the Love Your Brain Foundation to support individuals who have suffered traumatic brain injuries. We raised over $4,000. In addition, we participated in a day of community service this spring, where we, as a class, took on several different projects at locations such as the Bixby Library, the Rokeby Museum, and Evergreen Preschool, where many of us actually started our education. We are also a well-traveled bunch. Many of us have gone on international service trips to Ghana and Costa Rica, as well as trips to Germany and Quebec. We also have gone on national trips. Our incredibly successful FFA members have traveled from Indianapolis to Washington, D.C., while our music department has traveled from Boston to Philadelphia, learning all the while. We have excelled in athletics. We have excelled in music. We have excelled in art. We have excelled in academics. We have excelled at the Hannaford Career Center. We are fire cadets, EMTs, and mechanics. Our accomplishments are innumerable, and I will not go into too much detail about them unless you all want to stay here until 1 a.m. But if you do, let me know, though, because I have another 100 pages written for that just in case. It is totally a valid option. Our diversity, yet simultaneous oneness, is what makes this class so special. We have all created our own stories, and we have all come together and created the story of the VUHS class of 2019. And let me be the first to tell you, it is an exciting one. I could not have asked for a better group of individuals to spend the past 6 years of my life with. We have together learned resilience. We have together learned that it is okay to be disappointed, and that out of disappointment comes tremendous personal growth. We have learned the importance of keeping an open mind and the importance of exposing yourself to all different types of people, especially people who differ from you. We have found comfort in each other, yet we have learned to get out of our comfort zones as well. We have experienced moments of pure joy and pure happiness, and most importantly, we have danced our butts off. Let me get this straight. The story of the class of 2019 is not over. Now it is more of a choose-your-own-adventure book. Each of us will now discover our own unique and alluring path, and again, we could not have done it without any of you. I wish you all peace within yourselves and peace in your future adventures. Happy graduation day, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Maddie. Now we'll hear the Commodore Singers Concert Choir perform The Road Home, directed by Kaylin O'Hara, Vergennes Union High School Choral Director. Yeah, because we're going to do... This next part of this commencement ceremony is something that doesn't happen every year, but when it does, it's really pretty special. There's a whole page of text that I have to read. Vergennes has a rich history of athletic success that is evident by looking around at the number of banners covering the walls of our outstanding facility. One of our most successful programs is one without an actual place to practice. Without a track or much fanfare, our track teams consistently produce state championship caliber athletes, and this past year is no different. Tonight we are going to recognize and unveil the efforts of our student athletes that led to 7 championship banners. Our first individual is going to unveil 2 banners. Wade Mullen, the 2019 Vergennes Athlete of the Year, won the Division III 800-meter event last spring at Green Mountain Union High School, as well as the 600-meter event this winter at UVM. Wade is a quiet athlete who just goes about his training and competitions and doesn't seek or receive much attention. But as you'll see, he has left his mark on the Vergennes athletic world. Please join me in giving Wade the recognition he deserves as he steps forward. Okay. Wade is going to unveil his state championship banners. Keep your fingers crossed. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Yay! Okay, that's 2 down. There are 5 to go. Our next 4 banners represent the outstanding efforts of 2 relay teams, our 4x400 and 4x800 teams. These 2 relay teams captured the state indoor championships and the Division III spring championships a couple weeks ago in Windsor. Winning one championship can be an elusive goal for many. Winning these events in back-to-back seasons is something extremely special and rare. Please give a hand for the 4x400 relay team of Zeke Palmer, Ben Huston, Xander DeBlois, Spencer Hurlbert, and Wade Mullen, and the 4x800 relay team of Ben Huston, Eric Reitz, Gabe Promsma, and Wade Mullen as they step forward to unveil their championship banners. Our final banner recognizes the outstanding effort of Zeke Palmer, known as Soccer Zeke by many of his coaches. Zeke is an outstanding athlete who also excelled on the basketball court and the track over the years. The culmination of Zeke's athleticism and hard work paid off at the Division III state champion meet this spring, where Zeke claimed the 400-meter run. Please join me in congratulating Zeke on his accomplishment as he steps forward to unveil his championship banner. Congratulations, Zeke. And now, please welcome Bess Gramling to the stage for the valedictory address. It's the latest one. Good luck.
Good evening, fellow classmates, families, friends, administration, and teachers. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Bess Gramling, and it is a great honor to stand in front of you and represent our graduating class. The title of my address is A Breakup Letter to the Class of 2019. Dear Class of 2019, we have lasted 6 long years together, but now it is time for us to go our separate ways. Our relationship just can't work anymore. I'm going to Middlebury, and you're going to UVM, and Ithaca, and UVM, and Eckerd, and UVM, and Salve Regina, and UVM. And honestly, I just can't deal with all that distance. Plus, we've been separating for a while now. You've been off at the Hannaford Career Center, at Walden, at your job, or at college already. I barely see you anymore between all your activities. You're always out late after school playing sports, even though you helped bring home some state championships. On top of that, you travel a lot. You end up at so many different conferences and music festivals, and sometimes you're in another country on a service or a language immersion trip. I honestly don't know how you do it. You have the busiest schedule I've ever seen. You challenge yourself constantly at school, taking honors classes, playing in the band, singing in the chorus, all while applying to colleges or training for your future careers. And on top of that, you participate in every club or group known to man. You're in NHS, you're in the volunteer fire department, you're half of the state FFA officer team, you're an EMT, and you're in the military. Also, you're so dramatic, taking every opportunity you can to showcase your talents on and off the stage. Is there anything you can't do? It is no wonder that we have to part ways. I have to let every part of you flourish and create its own destiny. But be still, my love, and let us remember the good times. In the beginning, we hiked Mount Philo, meeting all the other people from the other elementary schools, and even reuniting with our old preschool friends. Then we traveled to Boston together in 8th grade, sleeping on a boat in one big room, which was very confusing for our adolescent selves. From there, we watched each other grow into taller and more confident, yet still very adolescent people. We performed together during the musicals, our band and chorus concerts, our trips to Philadelphia and Boston, and at our theater arts plays. We celebrated together at Peace One Day, pep rallies, Memorial Day, during the holidays, and in morning meeting. We honored each other at underclassmen awards night and at senior awards night. We hung out in the band room together every so often for class meetings, planning all of our exciting events together and taking every chance we could to raise money for our class. We danced together at homecoming, winter ball, and prom. We gave back together at Senior Service Day, helping all of the organizations in our local community to finish their spring projects. And we walked together last fall to raise over $4,000 for Zeno Mountain Farm and the Love Your Brain Foundation. We've seen each other for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 6 long years, and I regret none of it. But as time passes, we all grow in our own way, and you have grown so much. I am so proud of who you have become, and I cannot wait to see what your next adventure will be. I know that wherever you go, I can still rely on you to sing, dance, fix a car, engineer something, build a house, row a boat, volunteer at a shelter, save a life, write an article for the newspaper, design a poster, write a song, kick a ball, throw a ball, hit a ball, or whatever else you do with a ball, create beauty, create art, and save the world. I will always love the special moments we have shared together, and I wait in anticipation for the amazing things you will do with your life. Love, your Bessica. In all seriousness, I have really enjoyed spending my last 6 years with all of you. I'd like to thank everyone who made this speech possible. Thank you to my parents for being my support system throughout my childhood years and for dealing with a moody teenage girl in their house, and especially my mom for being the most involved and caring parent a child could ask for. I'd like to thank my grandparents for always encouraging me to succeed and being my cheerleaders. Thank you to Alder and my beloved front row juniors for being there for me. And finally, I'd like to thank Susan O'Daniel and Suzanne Rude for giving me the gift of music and always pushing me to go farther. You have given me something that I can hold on to for a lifetime. Thank you to everyone who has helped me along the way. I would like to close by reminding us all to keep setting high expectations, keep working hard, and to not run away from failure. These next few years of our lives are so monumental, no matter what lies ahead. We have a responsibility to pave the way for future generations and to leave this planet a better place than we'd enter into. So remember, we are doers, we are thinkers, we are believers and seekers, we are entertainers and givers. We are the class of 2019. And to my former flame, I hope we can all still be friends. Thank you.
And now I'm pleased to welcome Cedar Winslow, Emma Bryant, Jack Halpin, Caitlin Walsh, Maddie Smith, Zeke Palmer, and Wade Mullen to perform the song Father and Son by Cat Stevens. Test.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want to, you can marry. Look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. But take your time, think a lot, think of everything you've got, for you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not.
How can I try to explain when I to return to where you began. It's always been the same old story.
From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly.
You're still young, that's your fault.
There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. All the times that I've cried, even all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. They were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
Wow. And now Kylie Como is going to join me on the stage and introduce our guest speaker.
Alrighty, good evening, everybody. On behalf of the class of 2019, I am more than honored to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Sam Quinn. Pete Quinn, a father full of pride, always dreamed that his successful son would have a chance to inspire the students of Vergennes Union High School. From the beginning, our class was instantly amazed by Sam's big accomplishments and how far he had come after beginning at this very little high school. Sam grew up in Waltham and graduated from VUHS in 2003. He attended Harvard University, where he received a bachelor's degree in astronomy and astrophysics in 2007. After college, he stayed at Harvard for several years to work on NASA's Kepler mission, searching for planets around other stars. This project solidified his passion for astronomy, which led him to Atlanta to attend Georgia State University, where he received a master's degree in physics and a PhD in astronomy. Impressive, right? In 2016, Sam returned to the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, where he works on TESS, NASA's newest planet hunting mission in search of small planets orbiting the nearest and brightest stars in the sky. As you can tell, Sam Quinn is the kind of person we all aspire to be. An inspiration, truly. Extremely successful and passionate about what he does. We, the class of 2019, are not only fortunate, but extremely grateful to have him as a guest speaker tonight. Sam not only made his father and his mother very proud, but the whole Vergennes Union High School community. Please give a warm welcome to Sam Quinn.
Okay, bear with me as I adjust the microphone. Thanks, Kylie, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you to the senior class for inviting me to speak to you today. I have a lot of fond memories from my time at VUHS, so it's a real pleasure to come back and celebrate with the latest group of graduates. On a personal note, as you just heard, and most of you know, my father, Pete, passed away recently, and I want to briefly acknowledge the students, teachers, and staff here at VUHS, and the members of the community for the support you've shown our family, and the touching ways in which you've honored Pete's memory. I'm sitting in one of them today, this sideline chair. It's really nice. Nice and cushy, too. He truly loved to celebrate students' achievements, so there's no better time for me to come join you all than today when we're celebrating so many of you. Okay. First, let's get some big, exciting news out of the way. Many of you probably heard about the commencement speaker at Morehouse College this year, who paid off all of the graduates' college tuition debt. Yeah? I don't have that kind of money, so you're on your own there. Instead, I can offer you words. I think there's some wisdom in them, but mostly I wanted to reflect about growing up in this community and how it's shaped the way that I live my life. Call it self-indulgent, but why does everything have to be about you today? I mean, come on. Sure, today is in some sense the first day of your adulthood and the culmination of a dozen years of hard work. But if you think about it, the first 6 years were mostly recess and games, and for the next 6, you were distracted by hormones and Snapchat. So back to me, please. Many things have changed since I graduated from VUHS, as we heard earlier. And not just here in Vergennes. Our world is a very different place in myriad ways. In the summer of 2003, as we heard, social media wasn't really a thing. Facebook didn't even exist yet. And now it's for old people. In 2003, LeBron James was one of the most talked about NBA players, and Tiger Woods was winning majors. Oh, okay, not everything has changed. There is, however, one change that no one, and I mean no one, saw coming. Mr. Cook trading in the gym shorts for the shirt and tie. I guess you can have physical education without Ed. But seriously, while many things are different these days, I'm sure that in most ways my experience at VUHS was similar to many of yours. That's right, I'm just like you. Ignore the touch of gray in the hair and the Facebook use. That's just like you. To get a feel for how similar our experiences were, I'm going to ask for a little audience participation. I'll mention some of the things that I did while I was a student here in high school, and I want you to make some noise when you hear something that really resonates with you, whether it's something you participated in or something that you supported, and friends, family, students, you can all participate. So let's start with an easy one. We're in the right place for it. VUHS Commodore basketball. Come on, make some noise. All right. Okay, that was pretty good. I think we must have had a better team. The Vergennes music program. Yeah, band, jazz band, marching band, chorus. We heard some nice Commodore singers. I played trombone. Any low brass in the house? All right. I see we're still a little unique, let's say. Yeah. Okay, one more. I think this one's gonna be easy. Math League. Whoa, things have really changed. We didn't have such rabid fans when I was here. All right, so Math League's cool now, that's great, all right. So some of the ways that we interact with the world have changed, but many things haven't. Nobody would dispute that technology changes rapidly, and the way information is disseminated and digested is changing with it. But people haven't fundamentally changed. I'm not qualified to talk about the subtleties of human nature, but I am qualified to talk about the way that Vergennes shaped my worldview and how I've come to appreciate and implement the lessons that I learned about people here, and importantly, about community. So that's what I'd like to focus on. I actually delivered a speech here in this very room at my graduation in 2003, and though my memory is foggy, I'm pretty sure that I encouraged my classmates to focus on themselves and their own interests in the next step in their lives. Now, to be fair, I'm sure that in context, the message wasn't as selfish as it sounds. But boy, if I could talk to high school Sam now, I'd have something to say to him. Since I can't do that yet, maybe soon, if time travel is one of the next things on that technological advance, actually, let's give it a minute. If time travel does become possible, we'll make a deal. I will pop in here and tell you how that conversation went. Okay. So no time travel. I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Since I can't go back in time, I'm going to set the record straight today. High School Sam wasn't wrong, and I'm sure he gave a wonderful speech. But you should take care of yourself and nurture your interests and follow your dreams. But all of those goals will be more easily achieved when you engage the people around you, when you lean on them for support, and in turn, support them. Your experiences will be enriched when you've invested not just in your own journey, but the journey and successes of your family, friends, and neighbors. I certainly felt that support from all of you here when I was at VUHS, and that's what's so special about this community. I can tell you, having lived elsewhere and hearing from friends and family about their experiences, in many places you'd be really lucky to find the community that we have here. I have a story I've told friends over the years, and many of them can't relate to it at all, so I'd like to share it with you. When I was heading down to Boston for move-in day my freshman year of college, we packed up every one of my belongings, Math League trophies and all, thank you very much, and we took off in the Volvo wagon. It was, let's just say, an ill-fated trip. In Weybridge, the engine caught fire. Literally, there were flames coming out of the hood. We were able to put it out, but it was pretty stressful for the first 5 minutes until a car came by and stopped and asked if we were okay, and then another one came by and asked if we were okay, and another one came by and asked if we were okay, and offered to drive me to Boston, complete stranger. Most places, if you have a stranger pull up at the side of the road and ask if you want to ride to Boston, you'll probably be a little bit wary of their motives. But here, the only reason we declined was that we were able to contact our mechanic who diagnosed the problem over the phone, said they'd open up the shop and fix it within 2 hours. So I don't need to tell you that your neighbors would do these things for strangers or for you. I'm sure you've all had your own Weybridge car fires, hopefully not literally, and I hope you never do. But I'm sure that you've had similar experiences with your neighbors here. And it's a special community that we have. Many of my friends were shocked that people in Vermont, in Vergennes, act this way towards strangers. So why is our community different? People here aren't inherently better or nicer, though you are mighty fine folks. But our communities have cultural norms that foster these behaviors. A community is constructed by the behavior of the people living in it. And that means you can construct community wherever you go. I think carrying these values has helped me lead a happier life, be a better member of my community, a better neighbor, a friend, husband, father, but it can go beyond where you live. My sense of community has even impacted my work. Let me give you an example. I work in support of NASA's TESS mission, which is a space telescope searching for planets around other stars. TESS gives us the data to identify planet candidates, but additional observations have to be made from the ground in order to confirm them and characterize them. What's their mass? What's their composition? What's their atmosphere made of? This often requires a lot of telescope time on large telescopes, which is a very precious resource for astronomers. So when TESS identifies a potentially interesting planet, maybe it's unusual in some way, maybe it's the size of the Earth, or it's the right temperature to have liquid water on the surface. Everybody in the world might decide to point their telescopes at the same star, looking at the same planet. And that would likely be a waste of resources. Many of those other telescopes can be pointed at other things and making new discoveries. So this would hinder scientific progress and the progress of the TESS mission. So one of the things that I've been working on, in addition to pointing telescopes at interesting planets with my telescope time, is organizing the exoplanet community worldwide into a collaborative effort, a true community, to make better use of our resources. So how do we approach that problem? We provide the structure through which they can easily interact and communicate. We build online tools for discussing research and collaboratively planning observations. We hold video conferences. But most importantly, we explicitly discuss the values and common goals that we share and how we want to act as a community. In Vergennes, that might be providing a safe environment for our children, or supporting our local business, or treating our neighbors with respect. And in the scientific community, that might be fostering the development of our junior colleagues, contributing our unique capabilities to others' research projects in order to strengthen them, or pledging to protect intellectual property and providing credit for its use. We currently have nearly 300 astronomers in our group, our own virtual little city, and they come from 6 different continents and use telescopes on seven continents. So the collaboration is running smoothly, and I firmly believe this is because we crafted a community out of a collection of professional acquaintances. So if you've been listening closely, then I'm suggesting that Vergennes can claim some credit for discovering new planets. So give yourselves all a round of applause. I could talk your ear off about astronomy, but you have more important things to focus on. So I'll leave you with a final thought. Some of you probably can't wait for your last day at VUHS to be over, or maybe it's just this speech. Others will be sad to leave, and some will stay in Vermont and some will head elsewhere. But no matter where you go and where you'll be in the coming years, I encourage you to seek out community and build it if you have to. You're the lucky few who already know what it looks like. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Sam. On behalf of the class of 2019, I'd like to present you with this gift of appreciation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now what we've been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. Joining me on the stage are the class officers Kylie Como, Marin Howell, Ashley Cray, and Dylan Rappaport, Sheila Soul, Superintendent of Schools, Sue Rakowski, Chair of the Addison Northwest School District Board of Directors. So, your lists are here. They should be in order, okay? And then leave this one here because I has your names, okay? Ready?
Right through here. Michael Alex. Good job, Michael. Good job, Mike. Look so they can take a picture. Jasmine Errol. Joseph Ask. Good job, Joey. Good job, Jojo. Saper Balar. Nathan Philip Bourgeois. Chandler Brigham. Good job, Chan Chan. Emma Rose Bryant. Caden Bullock. Colby Bushy. Benjamin Haywood Clark. Holden Clark. Shannon Lane Cole. Devin Coleman. Hunter Coyle. Bethany Filomena Delgadillo. Cyrus Vernon Devine. You can. Cody DeVries.
Kaylin Dobson. Raven Willow Duke. At the end, or I think they stay up here actually. Dominic Fleming. Trayshawn Floyd. Jody Lee Forbes Jr. Brady Halleck Jibo. Connor Gill. Yeah, Connor. Austin Taylor Goodell. Lillian Rachel Goodyear. Bess Olivia Gramling. Jameson Haggett. Jack Halpin. Yeah, buddy. Sage Marie Victoria Henderson. Yeah, Sage. Spencer Joseph Hurlbert. Abigail Cora Hutchins. Olivia Lee Hutchins. Josie Jackman. Emily Joyce Jackson. I think this one's you.
Brandon Jewell. Cheyenne Brooke Jewett Myers. Cameron Edward Kiefer. Mabel Kyle.
Rachel Noel Leet. Olivia Lorraine. Morgan Gale Link. Brody Ann Martin. Sierra Mary Catherine McClay. Cameron McLaughlin. Wade James Mullen. Cooper O'Brien. Ezekiel James Palmer. Christian Paquin. Raven Audrey Perkins. Sarah Elizabeth Peterson. Hannah Justine Philbrook. Gabriel Quinto. Richmond Rathbun.
Tiana Rose Rivet. Lydia Marie Saberin. Ruth Claudia Simpson. Abigail Renee Smith. Kyrique Devonta Smith. Madeline Joy Smith. Zachary Stearns. Sydney Avis Tart. Gabrielle Amanda Terry.
After you're done, we're gonna.
Brandon Tierney. Peyton Christina Tolmer. Brianna Vanderway. Carter Robert Vizzacaro. Megan Lou Vorstevelt. Caitlin Carmichael Walsh. Ira Obadiah White. Cedar Winslow. Nathan Michael Wojciechowski. Andrew John Woods. Brendan Roy Yance.
Sheila. Here. Why don't you read the names? Okay. Kylie Ann Como. Ashley Patricia Cray. Marin Elizabeth Howell. And Dylan Jacob Rappaport. This concludes the awarding of diplomas. Please welcome Cedar Winslow, third honors recipient, to the podium. Cedar will issue the challenge to the class of 2020.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. A few weeks ago, I was called into Principal Stephanie Taylor's office, where I was offered the privilege of writing a challenge to the class of 2020. I now have the great privilege of declining that offer. Today, I am not speaking to the class of 2020. I am not speaking to my fellow graduates, and I am not speaking to the administration. I am speaking to every person in this room who is willing and ready to accept a challenge. To my fellow seniors, look at the people around you. How many of them have you never really had an engaged conversation with? Why is that? Is it a matter of class, social standing, popularity, or simply opportunity? And this is a group with which we share so much. We've shared the same teachers, the same community, the same 8-mile walk to support our classmate Mikey, and hours upon hours of classes that are either too hot, too cold, or an impossible mixture of both. And to the rest of the audience, you too share this community. You are all here because you love someone in the class of 2019. Reflect on your shared experiences and your shared feelings of pride as you watch a loved one move on to their next stage of adulthood today. When is the last time you engaged with an unfamiliar neighbor, fellow parent, or peer? My challenge to every person sitting in this room starts rather simply. Engage with the people in your community. Take the time out of your busy schedule to really learn about the people that you may have never taken the time to know. This is step one, and after that, my challenge gets a little harder. I dare each of you to engage in conversations which make you uncomfortable, which challenge your ideas, which really make you think. Some of my greatest moments of personal growth have come when my beliefs and biases were tested. Now, don't get me wrong, I haven't always been easy at this, or I haven't always been good at this, but if it were easy, it wouldn't make a very good challenge. My own passion for conversation stems from fear. Fear for the course our country is steadily progressing along, fear that my peers, our leaders, and myself are oblivious to the dangerous path we follow, fear that there is no off-ramp. How have we become so advanced as a nation, yet still face such a lack of understanding between our people? As individuals go about their lives, they are each exposed to different subjective worlds. It's only logical that different people experience different versions of truth. An individual's truth stems from their family, their education, and the personal experiences which shape them. Conversation provides a means of sharing and evaluating often opposing truths. Without it, we obscure the very complexities that make humans human. Conversation allows us to trace how each individual's truth came to be, and this is how we reach understanding. It is one of the most beautiful aspects of our existence as a species. We enter conversations with any number of hard and fast ideas etched into our minds. Our biases and assumptions sneak up on us. Over the course of the back and forth, the etchings melt away. We become aware of our shortcomings and of our opinions. We emerge changed. As scholar Theodore Zeldin wrote, conversation is a meeting of minds with different memories and habits. When minds meet, they don't just exchange facts, they transform them, reshape them, engage in new trains of thought. Conversation doesn't just reshuffle the cards, it creates new cards. So, to the class of 2020, as well as every person who is here today, go out and do something that may seem second nature. Just talk. It's not always as easy as it should be. Thank you.
You guys are jumping the gun. Put those back. Thank you, Cedar. And now the moment these students have been waiting 13 years for. Seniors, please slide your tassels from the right side to the left side. It is my greatest honor to present to you the graduates of the class of 2019. Let's send them off in style.